Digital Arena, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The update presented by the Sportscast.
Welcome to the Sportscast, May 19th, 2025. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, YouTube, Facebook, X, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We are also on online digital radio. You can look us up at thesportscast.net, our website, or you can follow us on X and or Instagram at the Sportscast1 and check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. The Cleveland sports are in disarray. We got the Cavs post-mortem, and we'll talk about the Browns situation with their schedule and also the quarterback situation. Maybe Dan has a little more inside of that. Dan, welcome back to the Sportscast.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, I've been in therapy here this last week or so. So just fully haven't recovered yet. You know, expected after winning 64 games is just it's a tough situation. But being a Cleveland sports fan all these years, you just kind of expect it. You know, it's the mistake by the lake in every sport, you know.
In American sports, season does not matter. I mean, of course, until you win. What matters is going to the playoffs. That's what the season matters. But in England or in Europe, you would have won the league.
Yeah.
There's no playoffs.
Yeah. No, exactly. Right.
Anyways, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, they were eliminated by the Indiana Pacers in 5 games. A lot of the reasons were injuries. A lot of reasons were, just a matchup. But Dan, what were your thoughts over Cleveland Cavaliers all out in the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a mixture of everything, but I mean, you can't have excuses. I mean, it seems like every year, they get hurt in the worst times. I mean, last year, same type of thing, but you got to play through it. And I mean, when they lost that game too, it was tough. I mean, they gave that game away, up 20, lost the lead, and just to lose in that fashion at home. It's an uphill battle from there to be able to overcome that emotionally. Mitchell got banged up. Garland was banged up. There was some, questionable refereeing. I mean, I think the refs, were letting them play a little bit. It's playoff basketball, but, they were playing football there for a while. And honestly, I think that was part of the Pacers game plan, just to rough them up, get physical and, and that's ultimately what won. I think the Cavs at times were soft. They didn't match their intensity, their physicality. They were relying on the 3 ball. A lot of times it wasn't falling. And, the coach of the year, was great, but I think there was some questionable matchups and questionable, rotations. I feel like Craig Porter Jr. should have got some more minutes. People struggling. Jerome had an awful series. Maybe put Tristan Thompson in there. I mean, he's a bruiser. Let him throw some elbows. Just things like that. I think it would have been a different series. Struz struggled a little bit. So overall disappointing. I have to say, I was so agitated with Indiana. Their fans were annoying. I just hope the Knicks just sweep them. I mean, I really cannot stand them, to be honest with you. I thought I hated the Celtics. I mean, I just they rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest. So
we can safely say now who you're going to go for with Knicks and Pacers. But one of the things I've heard a lot of the commentators, especially from ESPN, said that the Cavs lost. I mean, it had no grit. You just mentioned it in your monologue. They like that grit. Do you think they're missing some pieces, some little dogs out there to, go
Yeah.
attack and,
Yeah, I think so.
Lane
I mean,
Stevenson or something?
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do. I mean, I think Ty Jerome cost himself a big contract. I mean, his contract was up. I mean, he was looking to bring out the Brinks trucks, but I mean, he choked when it matters. So I don't think he's going to be back in Cleveland. So we'll see what they do there. I do, think they need a little more physicality. I mean, I think when it mattered, I mean, did good, but playoff basketball is a different avenue. And I mean, are they a regular season team and not a playoff team? I mean, that's a question that they got to ask themselves. It goes to a whole new level in the playoffs, and they got to be there. I mean, and I'm a little disappointed. I bought a 10-game package to go to the Cavs next year, and now I'm like,
You're regretting it.
do this. It's like, it's just insanity. Do I want to put myself through this all year long to get my hopes up? And, this is the year, and it's just major letdown, man. Major letdown.
Yeah, big time. And also there was an argument, there was a couple of series of games, not just this one, but other series where a lot of teams are coming back from 20-point
Yeah, exactly.
deficits. Regular season, you don't see that. What's the point? You got like 100 and something games. What's the point of coming back 20 points when rest? But in the playoffs, when you're up 20 points, Dan, you're not safe.
No, it was crazy. All the teams seem to, give up those leads, and it's wild. I mean, it's just, I think the team that's up, gets laxed, and they start going away from what got them that 20-point lead. And I think that's what happened with Cleveland. I mean, they were, when they got those leads, they were working the ball inside to Mobley and Island, driving, getting fouled, and then they go back to live and die by the three. And when that doesn't fall, you get rebounds, go out in transition, and then they hit a couple threes, and then the lead starts to dissipate. And then with Cleveland, I mean, they're like, when they got that lead, and then they lose it, you're thinking, oh boy, here we go again. After that game too, here we go again. And you start to get that self-doubt, and you're pressing, and you get nervous, and then you're a dead man walking, when you get to that point. So
yeah. Kenny Atkinson, not his first time as head coach. He was a head coach with Brooklyn Nets, but he was assistant coach for a couple of years before he got to the Cavs. Do you think there was a lack of experience or grit from his end that, hey, maybe this is kind of new to him?
Yeah, I mean, there was. I mean, it seemed like he got out coached in that series. I mean, he did well all year. Maybe there's something to say, that you wouldn't, you don't get the coach of the year till after the actual playoffs. Maybe that would get him, not feeling good about himself going into the playoffs. So,
yeah, for sure. Something else. Jim Carrey outcoached him. So, if you were in the Knicks locker room, what would you warn them about the Pacers?
So they're very aggressive. They're sneaky. They've got a lot of players that can hit the three ball. Halliburton can get going on a dime. I mean, he could start out slow. I mean, he could shoot it anywhere on the court. And they just have a players that they don't have a lot of splash. I mean, they got a couple big names, but they're just a lot of good role players that can find the sports spots on the court. And they're physical. I mean, they're going to pick you up full court. I mean, they're well pressed team, trapping and getting you rattled, making turnovers. I mean, the Cavs couldn't even inball the ball in game 2. I mean, they couldn't do simple task of inbounding the ball. That's what lost the game. So, I mean, they get
those
after
small little details really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, Knicks and Pacers are next. The Pacers beat the Knicks last year, so I would not be surprised if they do it again. I think the Knicks have a momentum as well coming in, but this series might go 7 games, I think.
Yeah, I think it could go 7 games. I think the Pacers have a little bit of because they were in this spot last year, so that they've experienced it. So they have a slight edge there. But like I said, it's interesting. I mean, it'd be curious. At all the Boston. Oh, if we had Tatum, it would have been a different deal. But you know, it would
They
be
struggled with
interesting
the
to
Magic,
see.
I
Yeah,
thought.
they did. Yeah.
So I don't know if a healthy 100% Tatum, even like a Jaylen Brown who was dealing a meniscus all series
He
long,
is.
would have made a difference. Knicks feel like they were motivated and they were built
No,
for this.
absolutely. And they could be up for the battle. I think that they're a physical team as well, so it could be an all-out street fight for sure.
Yeah, quite something. Let's go with a Giannis who's going to speak with the Bucks this week. Would that be a good piece for the Cavs, or that's a little too much?
Well, I mean, they pretty much have to dismantle the team for that. I mean, they can pick him up, but no, I think that would get them, the physicality that they need. I mean, they probably have to trade like a Garland and Allen to have a shot at that. And I'm not opposed for the Cavs to trade Garland, to be honest with you. I think he's injury prone. He's a little wild at times. He's streaky. I mean, I have no problem. I mean, I really don't. If they got something good for him.
Well, the top contenders for Giannis to go is the Spurs, Rockets, and Warriors. That's what is in the rumor mill. So Cavs are not in that. I guess, like Dan said, they'll have to give up a lot, probably the whole team, except Mitchell to get him. So I don't think that's the juice is worth the squeeze. I don't know. I don't think that'd be enough. But anyways, that's a lot with the game basketball. Let's go to the Cavaliers. The schedule release happened a week ago. And let's look at week 1. You got the Bengals and the Ravens. Week 3, Green Bay. 4, Detroit Lions. 5, Minnesota. Week 6, Steelers. Week 7, the Dolphins. Look at that. Week 8, New England Patriots. Week 10, against the New York Jets. Then the Ravens. Week 11, 12, Las Vegas Raiders. 13, Niners. 14, Titans. Then the Bears again. No, not again. This is the first time. Week 16, the Bills. Then again, the Steelers, then the Bengals. Your thoughts over the schedule? Home, obviously, is the brown, red is away.
It's a brutal start to the season for sure. You're going to know what they're made of. I mean, they got to figure out what they're doing at quarterback for sure. But I mean, that's a tough stretch there, those first 4 games for sure. I mean, if they make it out of that 500, I mean, they'd be lucky.
How many wins can you get that first 4 weeks?
Yeah, just looking at it now, I mean, maybe 1, but
maybe the Bengals is the only beatable team
maybe.
I see.
Yeah,
but
no, that's brutal. I mean, they could very easily be 0-7 to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers look weak.
Yeah,
they don't have a quarterback set. If it's a Mason Rudolph, that would be better.
Yeah,
Kansas.
Right. Yeah,
and the Dolphins has a beatable one. I can say that.
Yeah, no, that. I mean, it's that's tough sledding to start the year for sure.
Yeah, quite something. Loaded schedule. They don't have the easiest schedule, but they might be up there in the hardest schedule. The Giants are number 2. Number 1 is Minnesota, I think, because Minnesota has to go back to back, has to play in London, then the following week go to Ireland. Can you believe that? 2 weeks in the UK.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough there for sure. Especially, who's going to be the quarterback there? Do you think?
It's probably not the rookie guy, but just that they drafted last week. Last year.
Right.
Which
the Michigan guy I'm drawing a blank on.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank because he's been out of the realm. It is JJ McCarthy.
McCarthy. Yeah, there. Yeah. So he'll probably get to go.
Yeah, he'll probably, if he's healthy. I think he'll be healthy by week 1. I think so. But speaking about quarterbacks, the Browns have 4, not 1, but 4 good quarterbacks. Can we safely say Joe Flacco is the starter?
I think you have to. I mean, with that brutal schedule, I think you have to put him out there. He has the most experience. I think he's shown that he can lead the Browns offense. I mean, if they can keep him reined in to stop playing, hero ball, and he's got a healthy line. Hopefully, running backs, manage the game, make your plays. I think that he gives them the best chance to win. And if he's 0-4, then if one of these rookies or Pickett, are showing signs, put him in. But I think you have to start the year with Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Yeah. There is do you think there's a possibility they might trade one of these quarterbacks out? Not Flacco, because I know Flacco will be QB1, but you think like a Kenny Pickett, maybe Shador or Gabriel Dillon might be traded out?
I think so. I mean, I don't think, they need all those quarterbacks. So I think Pickett will probably be the odd man out there.
Yeah.
Or Gabriel. I think, from
Gabriel
what I'm
was
hearing,
drafted higher than Shador.
Yeah, he was. But from camp, I'm hearing that Shador has looked better than Gabriel in opening camp. So I think he's going to get the nod above him. But I do think Flacco will be the starter just to see how it goes. If they obviously are 0-4, I think you roll the dice at that point and put someone else in. But if he can manage a way to get a couple of wins out of the first 4 weeks, I think you stay with him.
What's up with Shador? Do you think he was drafted? Like, was that like in the plans to draft him the 5th or 6th round, or was it like a last minute decision by the owner?
No, I think it was a last minute decision of the owner. I mean, I don't think they had any intentions of drafting him because they passed on him 6 times. I mean, if he was truly somebody that it was on your board that, hey, I'm going to get, you would have picked him sooner. I just think for the risk reward. He was still available at the 6th with some, analysts are saying he's a top 5 pick. It's like, okay, well, maybe we didn't see him as that, but, maybe he is. So, let's roll the dice, and maybe we get a steal. Maybe he is legit. So really nothing to lose at that point to pull the trigger there in the 6th round.
What do you think money. Shador was like late? Do you think it was a collusion type of thing, or look, the talent level's not there, the size, maybe his interviews didn't go well?
I think from what I'm hearing, I think his talent's there. I think he didn't interview well, and that kind of went around the league. I think, from what I'm hearing, maybe got blackballed a little bit, and there's some baggage with him, right? I mean, you have a guy with, an ego about him. You got his dad to deal with. The social media, and I just think that some teams just didn't want that in the locker room, and they just said, we're going to pass on that.
Unbelievable. I was shocked. I was like, man, it's Saturday, Sunday. He's not been fixed.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I did, before the draft, it was a wide range. He could have been drafted at number 2 to whatever, but no one saw it go past round 3. No. I don't think no one had a mock draft of that.
No, not at all.
Even Mel Kiper. But you're right about the dad. I think the dad weighs a lot. I mean, he's going to talk. Mm-hmm. Even while coaching Colorado, he's going to talk about his son eventually. Oh, yeah. I mean, look what the coach did or whatever. Or like Shador did okay, but they didn't let him, hand the ball or whatever. I think he's going to talk. Yeah. So there's no way around that either. I'm surprised the Cowboys didn't draft him.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's that's what I'm just saying. I just think that he was somewhat blackballed a little bit. I think just bad interviews, and that just kind of spread through the league. And it just I don't see him and with Jerry Jones and the dad. I mean, it just I don't think Jerry Jones would have wanted someone like that.
Yeah, you're right. Keep away the show. But anyways, we'll see what happens with the Browns. Dan thinks they might drop one of them or get rid of one of them, traded one of them to the practice squad. I don't see that. One going to the practice squad. One has to be traded.
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Yeah.
Let's go to biggest news on Friday. 49. No, actually, it was yesterday. Wait, Friday, I think. Quarterback of the 49ers, Brock Purdy, will earn $53 million annually after agreeing to a 5-year, $265 million extension. I thought it was going to be higher than that, like around 58, the highest, but he got his contract either way.
He did. I mean, I think it would have been higher. I mean, he's somewhat dropped off a little bit from his, rookie run. I think he had that trajectory and it just kind of plateaued a little bit. Call it what you wish. I mean, he's had some injuries and things that contributed to lack of play, but still a huge contract going from Mr. Irrelevant to last pick of the draft to get this type of deal. I mean, honestly, Deshaun Watson's contract changed the game for pro quarterbacks. I mean, these agents are going in there and be like, hey, Deshaun Watson got this, and, he pretty much hasn't played much of anything and he's got zero talent. So, I mean, my guy, playoff this and that and stats. So, they're going to at least get that deal. So it's, he's changed it for sure.
One significant part of Purdy's contract is his full no trade clause for the duration of the deal. This is nothing new. Dak Prescott has the same deal as well, so people will bring that up. Annual salary $53 million, and a large percentage of the contracts paid out in the first 3 years, with 62% of the total value paid within the first 3 years. So, 265, 5 years. The head coach believed in him, hand in hand, and the organization. He is the guy. Is he a Joe Montana? I don't think so, but he can prove to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, he has his moments, but last year or so hasn't measured that. But I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe he'll come back, giving us some glimpses like he was his rookie year. But time will tell if he's worth this much money.
And the meaning behind a full trade no clause is the player's contract prevents the team from trading the player to any other team without the player's explicit consent. So if Purdy said, if they want to trade Purdy, Purdy's like, I do not want to go to the Cowboys, or I don't want to go to the Browns. So he has the authority of where he wants to go.
Yeah, no, I think that's smart. I mean, you definitely don't want to go to the Browns because quarterbacks go there to die. So, I mean, I can understand that for sure.
It is the graveyard for quarterbacks. We'll see if it's not for Shador or Dylan Gabriel. It's worked out for Flacco. He said he did not want to leave Cleveland.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have got rid of him the first time. Probably would have had a few more wins last year, but glad he's back, and hopefully he comes back with something to prove.
Yeah, going up against his Ravens this first couple of weeks, so we'll see if that goes. Talk about the Ravens. Derrick Henry, 30-plus years old, 2-year, $30 million extension. That was influenced by Saquon Barkley, but what thoughts about this contract?
No, I mean, I think they felt that their offense wasn't the same without him. I mean, you could tell that as soon as he came there, he gave him a spark and gave him some more running game. So I think that they needed to get this deal done for sure.
Highest paid running back ever. Good work with the Ravens. Obviously, they did not go deep in the playoffs. They lost against the Bills with a non-catch by Mark Andrews. So let's see what happens with this Ravens team, if they're going to be good. I don't know. Something's like missing to get them over the hump. Derek Carr's retiring from the NFL due to shoulder injury. He's had this issue for years now. This kind of reminds me of the Colts quarterback and Andrew Luck, where he was all injured. Look, I can't proceed. And it's not fair for you guys. Let me retire. But he's only 34. Luck was like 31, but he chose to retire.
Yeah, I mean, it's you kind of wish that he would have did that before the draft. I think that was a little unfair to the Saints. I mean, they maybe would have drafted a quarterback, a little.
And they got
Tyler
Chuck now as a starter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But maybe he was the guy all along. I mean, they passed, so who knows? But yeah, so he's going to get thrown to the wolves rather quickly. But you can't feel bad too much for Carr. I mean, he made a ton of money, and was always injured.
Big time.
He, got his bag and he could retire and go on vacations and, raise his family. So
yeah, exactly. I can see a scenario where he comes back. I don't know why I think that. Like the Chargers quarterback, I don't think he came back. Well, he was about to come back. I forgot his name now. I'm drawing blanks for quarterbacks today, but that's all right.
yeah.
But I definitely he'll be back. Maybe like he just needs he probably needs a year to recover. Maybe get that sold. Maybe to get that surgery, and then hey, look, I'm feeling really good. You guys need a quarterback because it feels like every year there's always a team that needs a quarterback, and he does not necessarily need to be the starter. He could be like behind the scenes, a veteran, bring some veteran leadership to that next young quarterback. I could definitely see him doing that.
That's a possibility. We'll see.
Maybe he can mentor Shador.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you have it. Yesterday, Scottie Scheffler won the PGA Championship. Dan watches golf. I did not know that. I found out today. I watch a lot of sports, so and for sure I watch golf. I do not watch like the Formula Ones. I just don't get cars going around tracks.
Yeah, me neither.
I'd rather watch the Derby, like the Kentucky Derby. For some reason, I like it, and I watched the Preakness 50 this past week, 150, whatever it's called. But Scottie Scheffler won. Good guy. Got arrested a year ago. Won again. He is I guess he's a protege now. He's the face of golf.
He really is, and he's just got a humble demeanor about him. He's just a class act type of guy. That's why when that whole arrested thing, you kind of knew that there was a bigger story there. It just kind of out of his character. So I'm happy that he got the win for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next endeavor. Tiger Woods still battling back. Actually, Tiger Woods. There was a commercial from Rolex. I thought it was like a commercial from Nike, but it was a Rolex. It had a bunch of his uniform, but no. At the end of the day, it was a Rolex commercial, which that's pretty good. Anyways, let's go for predictions. Eastern Conference Final: Pacers versus Knicks. Game 1 is on Wednesday in New York. Knicks have home court advantage. Who takes the series?
So I think as much as I don't want this to happen, I think the Pacers are going to win in Game 7. I just think a little more physicality. I think Halliburton just playing out of his mind right now, playing with a little chip on his shoulder. So I think they're going to make it to the finals.
Finals it is. Do you remember the season series between them and the Cavs? Was it that the Cavs won most of them? I think.
So with the Pacers, you can't really gauge it because when they did play, there was injuries on both sides. So I think they split it, but I mean, it wasn't really a full
good matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting enough. Let's go to the Western Conference Final, where last night the Nuggets lost against the Thunder. They advanced after 7 games. Now they face against the Minnesota Timberwolves against Anthony Edwards. This series is going to be good. A lot of youth on both ends. I think OKC might have a little bit more energy, but what are your thoughts over this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be OKC in 6. I just think, like you said, a little more energy, and I like them in this matchup.
I got Timberwolves for this series, and I got the Knicks in the other one. So it'll be Minnesota, Knicks. You got OKC versus Pacers. Not high, high profile teams either way. Except the Knicks, maybe.
No, the markets. Yeah, exactly.
That's the only high profile team.
Yeah, I'm sure the national. I'm sure the national media definitely wants the Knicks. I mean, Stephen A. Smith and his whole monologues. I mean, they all want the high profile, media team for sure.
It's interesting you say that because you did notice that when the Patriots had all those good years, those 20 good years, ESPN is in Bristol, close to New England, so you can tell they were pro Patriots like all the time. And now you're seeing with the Knicks.
Yeah.
So
it's
just the location. It just it really has a factor in these news organizations. But there you have it. This series begins tomorrow night, Tuesday, May 20th. Both good teams. I like to see Anthony Edwards go all the way. He did not was unable to pull it last year against the Mavericks, but this time it's the Thunder. So we'll see where this goes. Dan, before we close, what is the best way to reach you online? Talk to you about the Browns offseason possibilities.
Yeah, so you could reach me on X, Danimal2478, and I have a big announcement. I'm actually made my TikTok debut for my funeral business. I'm actually Dan the Funeral Man. I'm getting some traction there. That on Instagram. So if you want to see content on my other profession, funeral business, there's a lot of behind the scenes there. People are fascinated with death care. It's just wild to me. I mean, there's people that have millions of followers. Making a lot of money posting videos on death. Yeah.
Yes. Social media has gone topics that you'll never seen on mainstream cable. Like, lately I've been getting into like scrambling eggs, how to do in Asia. Weird stuff like that.
Exactly.
And then I used to get into like the life of like a harbor at a barbershop. But hey, funerals, interesting situation. Yeah. People want interesting content that maybe TLC won't cover,
Exactly.
But TikTok will. Yeah. But what's your TikTok handle again?
Dan the Funeral Man.
Dan the Funeral Man. You can't beat that. And you can reach us at thesportscast.net. We're not on TikTok yet, but it looks like TikTok's safe. I don't think they're going anywhere. Yeah. The Sportscast 1 on X and the Sportscast 1 on Instagram will be live tweeting out throughout the week with the NBA Final Four conference finals, the classic Pacers and Knicks, and of course Timberwolves versus LKC. Well, Dan, we had a good wrap up. Glad you came back. Talk about the Cavs post-mortem. You needed 1 week to get your thoughts together, but I think the Cavs will have a promising year next year. Because the East is still wide open.
Still young. Yeah, they're still young. So, yeah, I think, probably be back to the same next year, but hopefully they get a little more physical and different circumstances.
Exactly.
Next year,
maybe need some consulting from Pat Riley. He knows how to get players together. Anyways, this was your update.